Welcome back to Class on Grass Podcast, Season 3, Episode 4.
Yes, we are back live again. It's good to be back. We had a lot of positive feedback from many of the people who tuned in last time. So yeah, super happy to be back. I know we got Paul in already.
Yeah.
Sorry for the little bit of the wait, but we just had to make sure that we had everything going good. And hopefully this time will go much better than last. But yeah, we got a good week of footy to catch up on and talk about. And then obviously, like last time, whenever you have a question, put it in the chat. We'll answer it. We can get on with you guys, see what's going on with what you think about the world of footy right now. And then also we're gonna do like a quiz at the end where the chat can kind of interact with it. So yeah, it should be a good day overall.
Yeah.
Fairly excited. All right, getting straight into it. We're doing every single podcast episode right this season. We are not forgetting it once. I think we only did it maybe like 3 times out of the 30 episodes last season or whatever.
Yeah, Season 2 we did not.
Season 2 it was lacking.
It was.
But Season 3 we're doing it right. We're starting out Hassani of the Week every single episode, and this week it goes to Leon Bailey. Now, I had him in my fantasy team for day one, and then I dropped him.
Oh.
But
for who?
I think I can't remember who I brought in for him. It was I wildcarded after week 1, if you don't remember.
Yes.
I had him in my fantasy team because I'm that transfer guy. I love all the new guys coming in. But yeah, I had faith in him. Kind of didn't keep it, but he did actually end up doing really well and deserved the Sani of the Week for this week. A goal and then a caused own goal off of a corner.
Yes.
So overall, a great performance from him. Great performance from Aston Villa as a whole. What do you think about that?
I'd say we chose him because when I saw that game in the highlights, I was like, oh yeah, he's playing for Aston. Like that was a transfer this season that no one talked about.
From Leverkusen.
He's kind of one of those players where it's like, oh, FIFA, you know him from FIFA.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, he's finally started his goal scoring at Villa. And they usually sign players like those where it's like very solid players that you kind of they have a good card in FIFA, so you just sign them. But I mean, solid squad. I think Matty Cash also scored his first goal.
Dude, okay, you want to know what sucks? We'll talk about this more at the end when we go over fantasy.
Yeah, you also had him?
Matty Cash, 15 points, last on my bench.
Oh.
It was poor. It was so disappointing. I log in, I'm like, what am I thinking? First off, I had Salisu starting when you guys played against Manchester
Not sure why
City.
he did not start.
Yeah.
He did come on, which
did.
even hurts you more because he probably got like, what, 1 point?
Well, he got 1 point.
Yeah.
But, it was... Yes, Paul, Matty Cash is a baller. He's actually so good. But yeah, I had Salisu starting, and I don't know what was going through my mind thinking, like in the end, Salisu should have started and then it would have worked out because he would have gotten a clean sheet.
Yeah.
But the statistics and possibilities of that actually happening are so low.
He hasn't started the season, maybe the first game.
Exactly.
And then
also the probability of you tying to Man City.
Yeah.
So low with a clean sheet.
Exactly.
So low. So, like, what was I thinking to not bring Matty Cash on? And then I end up missing out on 14 points because of it.
Yeah.
So, super, super disappointed on that.
Dominic also had Leon Bailey on his bench. So
yeah, that's tough, Dom. That's so tough. Well, did you have anyone who... Matty Cash was well fit. Dom, did you have anyone who could, like, have 0 to sub Leon on? Or no?
I had a lot this week.
So you do have trouble in the fantasy side of things.
Pookie is doing very well from my bench on getting subbed on.
Dude, team did well for me this week as well.
Yes.
6 points. I had 6 points across my strikers because I had Vardy, Pookie, and Mape.
Nice.
So overall, I know Paul would love that I had Mape in my team. He's a poacher. He's a natural born finisher. He's so good. But moving on from the Hassani of the Week, just into the actual roundup overall, we're gonna start out with the fairly big game that was talked about among a lot of the group chats that we're in.
Yes.
and pundits around and stuff, and that is the Chelsea-Tottenham game where Chelsea nailed Tottenham 3-0. So yeah, I mean...
It was 0-0 at halftime as well, and they just kind of... I know you didn't watch a lot of the game, but from what I saw, like, second half, nothing from Tottenham, really.
Yeah.
Thiago Silva with an incredible header to open it up, and then Conte with a deflected shot. And it was just like domination, which we've seen from Chelsea now since Tuchel has come over for like a year now.
Yep.
Or coming up on that. So I don't know. Tottenham, even though they started out 3-0.
Yeah.
Now 2 consecutive 3-0 losses, Crystal Palace and Chelsea. But one thing I thought was interesting is I follow Sky Sports, and they posted like a 5-minute clip of their pundits after the game. Is like Roy Keane and Micah Richards, and they're focusing on Kane, and how he has like no impact, really, no goals yet this season.
It's a mindset.
Yeah, and they're saying, kind of like you said, his body language just isn't there. They're kind of blaming it on doesn't seem to want to be getting stuck in, as they say, getting into those tackles, holding up the ball, making those right decisions, maybe getting more physical with the center backs. I don't know if that's fear of injury or mindset, like you said. He's not into it as much anymore. Do you think he needs like a reset at a different club now, or is it just kind of this time getting back into it from the summer?
It's not getting back into it from the summer because every player has that break in the summer, and then every player comes back from it. So I don't feel like that's necessarily the excuse you can use because everyone else is going through the same exact thing as you. But I also don't think you can say, oh, because he had so many transfer rumors and everyone thought he was going to leave and he was not good with the club. You know, he didn't go to training for the first part of preseason and all that. That also can't be an excuse to him not giving 100% effort and not putting the numbers up that he's supposed to. He should be putting numbers up this season, and no matter what, you're a professional footballer. It's your profession. It's your job. You have to play for the team, even if maybe that's not necessarily where you want to be. So he still needs to have the mindset of, this is my job, this is what I need to do, and I'm going to be hungry to do it. But again, no one can control that except for him. So I do think that definitely makes up for some of what is happening. I don't see him leaving in January, though.
No, me neither.
So it's either going to be a terrible season or he's going to shape it up. And I don't think he has his contract expires, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. Probably Paul would know better than either of us about the contract expiration
Our fact checker again,
our fact checker,
say.
Paul and Dom in here.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, he's not leaving in January, I don't think, at least. So he's either going to have
he's going to waste a year,
or he's going to turn it on. And I don't think either of those things are going to change where he ends up necessarily. The year after. So I just say
Paul says
2 years. Okay. But still, I mean, I think there's a good chance he would leave with 1 year left on his deal. I don't know.
Like, I just don't. The vibe I'm getting is none of the other players, not even Son, likes him that much anymore. Like, I don't think they have that chemistry anymore, at least from the first 4 games. Just because of obviously what happened, he seemed to be forcing that move and then had to backtrack and say, oh, I wasn't not going to training, just because they saw City bought Grealish and then obviously weren't going to try and buy him. Like, I don't know what club would even go for him. Because I don't think City would.
Well, yeah, they don't necessarily have they have the funds, but they're not going to spend the funds right now. No club in their right mind, after they spend that much money on a player like Grealish, is going to go out and do the same thing with Kane. Yeah. You have to give it some time. I mean, the only other team that really did that was like Neymar 1 year, and then the next year Mbappe, and both were plus 100. But like at the same time, it's like it's not like you can't just keep doing that. You can't keep spending that much money. So, and again, with City's attendance play out now, and
we didn't
fan base,
talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily look like they're going to be raking in too much money coming up with their ticket sales and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know where he would go. I don't really know with Kane. Paul said that he has Kane in his fantasy team, but he's still not disappointed that he's performing poorly. And that's exactly what I would expect from Paul. You know, Arsenal fan, totally typical. Makes sense. Although, Paul, you should probably get him out of your fantasy team, considering how poorly he's playing.
Paul thinks City could go for Haaland, which is true. He was a target for a while, and obviously he has that release clause. And then Dom says that he could go to PSG. I mean, you see him going to PSG. I feel like he's going to stay in England if he's going to move.
If Mbappe leaves, he's going to go to Real Madrid, and I don't think Kane will. He doesn't seem like a player that would leave England. that being said, I don't think I saw Messi going to PSG either. And we do have to touch on this because
true.
Messi got subbed out in the 75th minute
and still hasn't scored.
Yeah, that's
3
a bit
games
shocking.
Yeah.
But we'll get on with that later. But yeah, I genuinely don't know where Kane will go and what he can do. I mean, it seems, it seems like this past window was his time to go, and now he either makes it up to the fans and actually works his butt off and does well this season and is a team player, or he starts to lose his popularity not only among his own fans but among the whole world.
Yeah. And then I guess moving on, the other game today on Sunday was the Manchester United West Ham game.
Dom has Ronaldo in his team, so Dom is actually going
so yeah,
crazy
Ronaldo has scored in every game so far, even in the Champions League. For Manchester United, scored today, and then West Ham obviously scored first, then Ronaldo scored, and then Lingard comes on, gets a standing ovation from the West Ham fans, as he had like 13 goal involvements in like 16 games on loan. Comes on, scores a very good goal.
Incredible top right
in the
curler.
90th minute.
Great stuff.
Doesn't celebrate, respects the fans.
So that's another thing that's like class from Lingard, you know. At least he didn't go knee slide in the corner or something like that.
Well, he also obviously caused the winning goal for Young Boys.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, if I was Ole and I saw that, would I really feel comfortable putting him in at the end of the game when it's tight?
I mean,
like
he proved himself. I think it was one of those where it's like, all right, like
he's either gonna give a through ball to another team or score for himself. Yeah. So.
But yeah. Incredible goal, and then
what a game that was.
We're like,
that's exactly right.
Yeah, we're like, all right. I was just watching. I was about to turn it off, go do some homework. I was like, all right, that's it. And then on the right, Luke Shaw has his hand fully out in like a 90-degree angle, hits it perfectly on the forearm, and then they even went to VAR. I don't even know how. I mean, obviously not intentional, but it's as far away from your body as it possibly
can be. When it's up here, it's like.
So was called a penalty. They pulled a Gareth Southgate, David Moyes did, puts on a player just to take a penalty. Goes the exact same way for Mark Noble. De Gea saves, Dave saves, and then Man U get all 3 points. I just don't, even when I saw Mark Noble like come on for the penalty, I was like, that's just, even if he scores, it's stupid. Like Declan Rice, just take. He's best player on the field for West Ham. Just place
and he probably would have scored.
Yes.
If we're being honest, Declan probably would have bagged and they would have gone home with a respectable result.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen, and Dom says that was Mark Noble's first miss apparently.
Really?
Yeah. I mean I saw that as well. Yes, it was his first miss, but also
was not a good penalty.
It wasn't terrible. He put it in the keeper's, reach.
The good height, yeah.
But it wasn't a terrible pen. But like I don't really think you should be I don't think you should be allowed to sub someone on just to take a pen. I think it should be like once the penalty has been called, one of the 11 players on the field is required to take it.
Yeah.
That should be the rule in my opinion.
I don't even know how they got him like ready to go so quickly after the penalty was called.
He may have been warming up.
Maybe he was coming on anyway, but even then, why would you still play him?
Also, it's his first touch on the ball.
Yes.
Like when it's your first touch on the ball, what do you expect?
I would have been fine if it was like 5 minutes after he came on.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, he's your captain. Whatever,
and he's clearly your best pen taker. He doesn't miss. But first touch on the ball, all that kind of stuff. Like
any player that's gonna be.
It's gonna be a tough one to score consistently, even if you're a consistent pen taker.
Yeah.
So I think that there should definitely be some regulations put on subbing people on just to take pens. I don't know. It seems like it also like it's only acceptable or like should necessarily help you if it's at the very, very end of the game, because you would think that you would, if the player was good enough to play on the field, you just have them out there anyway. And if you put them on just to take the pen, then you're technically taking away from the level of your team.
Yeah.
So unless it like is timed perfectly and you're like, oh, we need a sub right now in this position, it doesn't feel like it would help. And I think, that's why we don't see it in other areas of the game. But yeah, end of the game, I don't know. It seems a bit, I don't know. Angie said, one, who is the worst or least qualified manager this year for EPL teams playing Champions and Europa? Who is more important to their team's success, Reynoso for MNU or Salah for Liverpool? Oh, that's actually like very deep question.
That's interesting.
We'll go with number 2 first.
Yeah. If you're not a Man United fan, Reynoso came back from injury this game, scored 2 goals outside of the box. They won 3-0, I believe. But he's kind of the playmaker for
He is.
United.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, 2 outside the box goals, great finishes. He's super key. I mean, Salah clearly does more for Liverpool, but without Reynoso, like Minnesota are so much worse.
I mean, we saw that. Yeah, we saw that he was out. I don't even know, 5 games maybe. Given also Robin Lod, our top goal scorer, was also out at the same time.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's hard when you have that combination.
It's like who was really, out or who was really causing that dip in form as much. But I think Reynoso definitely connects the midfield and attack better than anyone else.
He connects the midfield and attack better than anyone else relative to their competition.
Yes.
Obviously, if Reynoso were to go to the Premier League, he would be nowhere close to the level of Mohamed Salah. That relative to the level of play that you're playing at, I think Reynoso might be a little bit more important than Mohamed Salah is to Liverpool. But I think Salah produces better numbers relative to the level he's at than Reynoso, just because he's more of a finisher, more of a goal scorer, and he gets in those opportunities more. So then he's either going to get little cheeky assists or a goal here or there.
Yeah. Although I could see... So when I think of Liverpool, I think their most important players to their team's success is their defense. Like Van Dijk, Fabinho's been very good.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, when you look at attack, Mane has not had a great start to the season, didn't have a great season last season either. Firmino's like not even, he's like in and out of the squad.
Well, it's because Diego Jota.
Yeah, Jota he did not have a good game. I saw he made a lot of misses.
Did you see the miss where it went over across the box? I can't remember if Salah crossed it or who did.
It was a save right to him, and then he put it over the bottom.
Yeah,
right?
No, so it was like someone like hit it like a deep cross that like dropped to him, and then it was like kind of like, or no, was it a shot that was saved?
There's
I
2,
can't remember.
I think.
Yeah, there was 2. One of them, though, the one that was the worst, I just remember the picture, like the freeze frame in my mind, where he got it, and it was a full volley, like side volley, and he had an absolute, like, chance of his life. But he skied it over the bar.
Yeah.
It's not something that Firmino hasn't done, though. So.
But yeah, I was thinking, when you look at their attack, obviously Salah's the only kind of mainstay who is consistently kind of either creating chances. I think you would fancy him to score his chances out of all of their attacking players. But at this time, I don't know. I agree with you. I think Reynoso for Man United would probably be just as important.
More important relative to the... You have to make sure you say that because it's not, It's
not based on level of player. Obviously,
it's just more important to the team they're playing on for the level they're playing at. Paul said, "Whose autographs on the Argentina jersey?"
It is Dominic Vasquez.
It is Dom's. It's a combination. It's 2. You can see like both pictures in the bottom. It's a Messi and a Maradona autograph on it, which is kind of insane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, what's next on the plan?
And then we can move on to just a quick La Liga round of
La Liga is we haven't touched on it much, but it is going to be interesting how that goes this year. We talked about Barca a little bit last time.
Yeah, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid are 1-2 in the table after 5 games they've played, both undefeated. Barca is well undefeated, but they've only played 3 games and they have 2 wins, 1 draw. And they're sitting in 10th, so like it's kind of hard to say with the difference in games.
Exactly, it has to do with that.
Which I didn't know, because that's similar to the MLS. Like some teams are like 3 games behind and stuff, but in the Prem they're always very close. So I don't know if like what happened with that.
Yeah,
if they play different like amounts of games in weeks.
It must just be because of I mean, you could say it's because of European competition, but then again, like it's not because all three of them are
Yeah,
in
they're
Europe.
all in them.
Um,
So
I don't know. Uh, it, it happened last year because of COVID in the
yeah,
Premier League, and so it could be that it's happening
maybe it's just
similar
scheduling.
reasons,
Yeah,
scheduling stuff like that. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
Dom,
Dom said, "What are your thoughts on Vinicius' his current form? He's doing very well.
yes,
He's incredible
yeah,
now."
and I believe he's scored their winner. I know Benzema and him have linked up.
I
You
will
can
check.
check
I will
the
check the
specifics.
exact scores.
They played Valencia today. I heard actually Yunus Musa was at fault for their winning goal, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, great win for Madrid today against Valencia. Two late goals to win the game. Vinicius in the 86th and Benzema in the 88th. And the assist for Benzema came from Vinicius. So Vinicius, I mean, clearly he's getting the numbers. I don't watch as much of La Liga. But I mean, when you're producing numbers like that, there's no way to look away from the fact. And I mean, again, Dom, I don't. It's hard because if he were to hold that form for the whole season, you'd look at him as one of the best players in the world, and I think he's too young to be looked at as one of the best players in the world right now. I mean, yes, there are young players like Holland that are doing that, but I mean, that consistency is so hard to maintain at a young age. So, like, he's going to be good like that eventually,
And yeah,
but I don't know this season.
Also in a Real Madrid team that struggles for goals.
Exactly.
Just based on, like, since Ronaldo has left, they haven't had a real goal scorer. Since the Bale, Benzema, and Ronaldo trio. I think Benzema has definitely carried a lot of their goal scoring weight. But if Vinicius can continue that, I think it's. Are you looking at his stats?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't updated, but I mean, he had a goal against Celta de Vigo in the previous game, and
he's a winger and he's scoring.
Yeah, I mean,
is very
it's
important.
When you're doing. Yeah, Dom, you said he won the game for Real de. Yeah, I mean, he's clearly doing bits and he's doing well. I think he's an exciting prospect. He's not there with Haaland and Mbappe, you know.
Yeah.
I think if you were to put him, I mean, who do you think's a comparable player? Maybe Pedri? Pedri's so much younger though. And Pedri
For
doesn't
Vinicius?
Yeah, I'm just saying for comparable level at such a young age. Cuz it's not like he's not the same level as Haaland and Mbappe. Like he's not.
No.
But
it is a tough one. I think obviously he hasn't proven himself. He seems to be proving himself this season. He's been kind of that joke player, you know, when Messi left it was like, oh, El Clasico's Braithwaite
exactly.
and
Well, yeah,
Vinicius.
they said that.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's proving.
La Liga president literally said in a press conference, and we talked about it last time, and we kind of laughed it off.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, "Oh, it's okay that players like Messi are leaving because we have players like Vinicius."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sancho is a good one, but Sancho's form's poor right now. But yes,
I also think Sancho's again proven himself. He's put up double-digit goals and assists in multiple seasons.
Dom, if Vinny can actually perform this season, yes, he's up there with how Sancho was, you know, at Dortmund. But again, Dortmund's a smaller club than maybe Manchester United or Real Madrid, and clearly we're seeing the pressure of being at
I think there is
United
a lot of pressure
for Jadon Sancho is getting to him. So it's a hard one. We'll have to see how it kind of pans out throughout this season, but I would like to see how he develops and grows as a player.
Yeah.
Also, João Felix, 2 yellow cards within seconds, throwing an elbow and then complaining to the ref.
Yeah. It like he was running, and it's one of those when you your arm kind of comes back. Got a foul. He turned around. He kind of said some things to the ref, it looked like, and then ref just automatically. You don't see that usually, especially after a yellow. The ref just went right away to the second yellow and gave him a red.
And I mean, it makes you question maybe what he said to the ref specifically, because, you know, it would have to be very vulgar because these pros say some bad stuff all the time throughout the game. And
the mics pick it up sometimes.
Oh, all the time. And I mean, it is part of the game, you know? So it would have to have been really bad, but hopefully, you know, everything was okay and it didn't get too out of hand between them two.
Yeah, but they still have Suarez and Griezmann
on
the field.
Atletico is going to be fine this season.
I'm surprised, looking back, how they survived with pretty much just João Felix
Yeah.
for like a year or two before they got Suarez.
Yeah, and then they got Suarez, and then they brought back Griezmann.
Like,
now they're fine.
he must have. I didn't obviously watch a lot of their games, but I wonder how much went through him, how much he tried to carry that.
Also, how do you think Atletico are gonna do now that they don't have Saul in that midfield?
Well, obviously they seem to be doing decent.
Yes, but like in the games that matter more, Champions League stuff like that.
I think it's gonna be interesting. Now they just have they also lost Partey to Arsenal, so that's their two midfielders, right? So that's a great question. I don't know. Maybe Koke is like the only one left there.
Yeah, him. They also have Hector Herrera, the Mexican player. He's pretty good. He's solid. I mean, their midfield, it's not gonna be bad, but they're obviously gonna suffer. Saul was so good.
I mean, with Simeone, it's always a very strong defense.
It is.
And
it's such a good. And even if you don't have necessarily the players that are going to be like, oh, these guys are all super strong players that won't let up goals. The tactical piece that Simeone plays in his teams makes it so that they won't give up those goals. So they'll be fine in the back, and now that they have more creativity up front with Griezmann and João Felix, and then they have a finisher in Suarez, I think they're fine. Paul also says they have Llorente. Yes,
that's true as well.
He's a good player. I'd say that Koke is probably more impactful as a player, but that's me with an uneducated opinion because I'm not super educated in La Liga right now.
And then I guess finally until we go
did they get DePaul from Argentina?
He played very well in Copa America.
Yeah, he did play really, really well. I didn't know that they had him. Let me check that because that would be a fantastic signing.
And he's young too.
We need to pay more attention to La Liga because clearly some viewers.
They're back on ESPN, I think.
Are they actually?
I think they signed rights for ESPN Plus.
Yeah, he plays for Atletico Madrid. So that's
great
good.
Signing.
He's obviously not young, 27 years old, but they signed him from Udinese, and he had a fairly breakout season, you could say, where people noticed his potential during the Copa America this past year. I think he played that really good pass to Di Maria that won the game in the Copa America final. Obviously their midfield's doing well. I mean, you can't say it's the same as a midfield with Saul because Saul was such a good player and he's so young that he could get so much better. But when you're that good at that much of a young age, it's almost like you're gonna go to the Premier League. Yeah, and, and
how?
A club like Chelsea. Yeah.
But also, how is he gonna get anywhere near a starting spot with Kovacic playing as good as he ever has?
Yeah.
Jorginho cementing his place as basically captain of that team, and then obviously Conte, who we don't even mention, he comes off the bench every game.
Yeah.
Who we were saying, Ballon d'Or technically or almost could be.
I mean, even Jorginho.
Yeah. So,
which is, I think it's stupid that people are considering Jorginho for the Ballon d'Or, but
if you look at the stats,
considered. Yeah. Paul said at Udinese he played more as a 10. That just shows you that Paul, the player, for Atletico's versatility, because in Copa America he played more as a 6. So that just shows you his versatility. Simeone will obviously like him a lot as a player, able to play in multiple positions, doing really well. Clearly, La Liga is crazy right now. Moving over to fantasy.
More.
What?
The Nagelsmann.
Oh yeah, we did.
We should touch on that. Yeah. So he said in an interview.
Julian Nagelsmann, by the way.
Yeah, the Bayern coach. Said that football must stop hiding behind tradition and revolutionize itself, because he was talking about how in the NFL, quarterbacks have an earpiece with the coaches where they can talk through plays and everything. Instead, in soccer, you kind of just yell at the team and you can communicate that way. He thinks they should move towards that. What do you think are you more on the side of tradition, or do you think they should move toward that? I think it would be hard to have an earpiece in while you're playing.
Well, in football, the one thing that makes it easier is you have a helmet on.
Yes.
So obviously you're able to.
It's like built into the helmet.
Exactly. So that makes it easier. Yeah, an earpiece would be difficult, especially with the awareness that it takes to play, because you don't have that helmet
and
to put it.
Your coach constantly yelling.
Well, yeah. Well, you don't have a place to put it like your helmet.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like you can like once you have that earpiece in your ear, you're not hearing out of that ear necessarily.
Yeah, exactly.
And or at least it's going to be kind of impaired.
Yeah.
So then you think, well, with the awareness that it takes to play football,
Yeah.
European football, obviously,
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to lose one ear of hearing.
No.
And on top of that, I don't think that I would necessarily want to hear my coach yelling at me the whole time. I think that it's important to have chats with your coach at halftime or if you need to be pulled aside, but I also think the creativity that comes with soccer is what allows the game to be so fluid. You're able to express yourself your own way on the field instead of having to play for a certain coach's style or something. Obviously you adapt, but
Yeah.
you're able to make your own decisions. And I feel like, Nagelsmann as a coach, it would give him more power. Why wouldn't he want to?
He obviously loves that idea. It's like,
but
I don't have to yell. I can just talk into their ear.
But yeah, I don't think it's realistically
I think,
possible.
yeah, in theory, it's a great idea because you can talk
easily
through a tactical switch or something.
Mm-hmm.
But, like practically, that's not really.
It's just, you would need much more advanced technology
Yeah.
to actually get messages across without impairing any physical or mental awareness of anything.
Yeah.
It feels like that would be kind of difficult, especially with how, like in football, there is a stoppage of play when you talk to the coach.
Yes.
That you would be listening to your coach with a defender running at you. So it's
you have 30
different.
seconds to talk to your coach before you do something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. We do have a comment from my mom, Angie, who said, I vote for get to know Leo Mack and study questions. If you could live anywhere, play for any team or club, or do any job right now, where would you go? We'll answer like one of those. We don't want to give away too much information to the public, all these fans that are in this chat, we don't want to give away too much information to them. But I'd say for any job right now at this moment, just add like 10,000 people to the stream and then it's a job.
Professional podcast.
There it is. All right. So then moving on, we will finish it out with two more things.
Fantasy.
We're going to round up fantasy and then we're going to do the interactive quiz with the chat. So make sure everyone in the chat stays if you want to answer some quiz questions.
I'll come find all of you.
I feel like that's what the notes are for. I'll come find all. But yeah, so fantasy this week.
I got.
What was your point total?
So for the regular fantasy where you can pick your team, I got 43 points.
Tough.
Did anyone not play? No. So I did actually leave Pookie and Simakis on the bench.
That's tough.
5 and 6 points.
You mean Simakis?
Yeah, and yeah, but 43 is not bad.
Yeah,
it's solid.
55 was the average this week. I got bang on the average.
Nice.
Like exactly. So.
Wow, Sarr.
Yeah, Ismail Sarr had 15 and Matty Cash had 15.
Yeah.
It's just I'm gutted to have him on the bench. But yeah, my front line was good. Vardy, Mape, Pookie all getting a goal. 8-7-6 for them. Sarr had 15. Fernandez captain with only 4. Diaz with 8. The rest of my back line with 2 and 1. It's one of those where it's like.
I mean, Diaz with 8 is a bit iffy. He got absolutely crossed by Adam Armstrong in the game, so I'd say that should be minus 10 points.
They start taking off points because
if you just get juked, like just
that would be crazy if they started like doing flare points.
Yeah,
that would be ridiculous.
Dude, like St. Maximin would get like 30 points.
He would get 30 points a game.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I got bang on average, and I'm sitting right now in. Dude, I'm still
last.
I don't understand how I'm in 10th place.
I moved down. It looks like.
Yeah, you did. I don't understand how I'm in 10th place still because like, I literally I got 55, and then the game week before, no, I got 55 last week also, and then the week before I got 60, and then the week before I got 43, and then the week before I got 25. So it's not been bad except for my first week. It's just like everyone, I don't know, everyone else is doing better somehow.
And then for our draft, which a couple of guys in the chat are in.
Yeah, everyone in the chat. So Paul said that he lost to Paul, and then Paul obviously very happy about that one.
So I actually got more in my draft team. I got 48 this week because I had Salah and Van Dijk both with 12. Pookie starting in my draft team got 6.
Dude, I got more with my draft team as well.
Yeah. So, and I think I did win, let's see here. Results. Yeah, I won by 2 to Leonardo. So.
Cav.
Yeah.
Nice.
48-46. I just sneaked by. Wow, he had Rudiger and Alonso who got 14 and 10.
Wow.
His defenders, but
that's ridiculous.
no one else really did much for him on his attacking side.
I obviously won mine. Wait, hold up. Paul said, Lenny, you're first in the draft league. Am I actually?
Wow.
That's ridiculous. Hold up, let me check. The actual. Well, hold up. First, I'll go over my week. I beat Sudden Death, Sutton Lily Green, producer right here, 61-17, absolute blowout. And my team again. I got more points than I did for my actual fantasy team.
Won a game at all.
I think you won your first one. Maybe go check.
You have 1 point.
Yeah, you tied.
You tied.
I'll take it.
But for me, Ivan Toney had 12 up front. Ben Rama had 10. Mane had 8. Simicas had 5. St. Maximin had 8. Trossard had 5. Diaz had 8. So like overall, a fairly decent, amount.
I'm
coming from
5th.
everyone.
I'm
am
tied,
I actually first right now?
tied for 3rd. But yes, technically
Yeah, I'm
I'm
first.
5th.
That's crazy. 4 wins, 1 loss, 12 points. Tied with James the Butlers.
Nice.
And I have 242 points. Eli also has 242 points, and he's tied with me for top on points. So yeah,
Close league.
next week I play Dom. I play you next week. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how Mazos 11 and Los Genos get.
I played James. Wow, I played a top 2 side.
You do? Wow, that's great.
Next week.
That's great
It's
stuff.
gonna be tough.
And then yeah, I know you have a quiz prepared. Megan said, I dislike this mic up idea strongly. I completely agree. I don't think it would really work for soccer. Paul said, if James wins the league, we will never hear the end of it. Yeah, dude, we don't hear the end of anything in the chat right now. Paul says, Lenny, get ready. No, Paul, I'm going to beat you. Trust, I'm going to beat you. So we have a quiz now for everyone who stayed and wants to contribute.
Play along at home.
Yeah, play along. You can like put your answers in the chat, and then we'll like see who gets them right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Max, start us off. I'm ready. I don't know about you. I don't know about everyone in the chat, but I'm 100%
So
ready.
we went back to the Guardian,
dude,
for our quiz.
when is it a quiz when it's not the Guardian?
And when
I think we've
it's
been
just
to the
always
Guardian
good.
for
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
quiz. Yeah, Dom, James literally, not only will he go on waffling for weeks, he's been waffling for
Yes.
weeks.
So this one is about runners up. So
Okay.
it's all the second place or teams that didn't quite finish. So, first question. Who were the losers of the first World Cup final, a game that was played just 125 miles away from their capital city? Italy, Argentina, Chile, or Brazil?
Okay, so we're going to give, there's like delay for the chat.
Yeah.
So we're going to give everyone like 10 seconds, or like, I don't know, what?
Like
30
30 We can talk
seconds?
through it ourselves.
Yeah,
and
we'll
they can
talk through it
also-
and then see the chats to come in. So what were the
So, who
opportunities?
were the losers in the World Cup final, the first World Cup final ever? Italy, Argentina, Chile, and Brazil. If you want to know, Uruguay, I believe, won the first World Cup ever.
I would maybe go with like Chile, because it said
I would go Brazil, to be honest.
no, because I don't feel like Brazil was like prominent
Really?
at that time. It's the first one, dude. USA
But
got like
would you
four.
not think like the first World Cup ever would be in Brazil?
Dude,
why would it be in Chile?
The first World Cup ever, the United States got fourth.
Yeah, but why would it be in Chile?
Paul says Argentina.
Okay.
I don't know. I have a feeling it's gonna be Chile. It was Italy, Argentina.
Italy,
Brazil,
Argentina, Chile, and Brazil.
We'll give it 10 more seconds, and then we'll reveal the answer. I'm locking my answer in as Chile.
I'll say Brazil. I also might maybe Italy. I don't know.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is it?
Argentina.
Wow, Paul, if you looked that up, you're cheating.
Yeah, Paul.
That's not right.
Come on now.
Okay, I mean, plead your innocence, but
Um,
there's a bit of a debate
Paul, what was
there
the
whether-
final score? If you get this right, then we know.
Wait, is this actually a question?
No, it gave a description of the game.
Oh yeah, Paul, do you know the final score of the game?
Guess the
I knew it was Argentina because the U.S. lost them 6-1. How did you know that the U.S.
So
lost
what
them
was the
6-1?
final score of
No way does he.
Uruguay, Argentina,
No,
Paul?
because that makes sense. Because if he knew that the United States lost them 6-1 in the semis, and he knew that Uruguay won
Yeah.
the game, then I can see
Yeah.
that. What is the next one?
Okay, number 2. You can.
Don't know the final score of the final. Yeah, I mean,
It was 4-2 Uruguay.
I can understand that, but it was a South American brawl.
Yeah.
Which European team has lost a World Cup final in their home country? Hungary, Italy, Sweden, or the Netherlands?
Oh.
Again, we'll do like 1 minute. Hungary, Italy, Sweden, or the Netherlands?
Suddy, what's your guess?
Yeah, Eddie, what are you thinking?
I'm going with Italy.
Italy. Okay.
I think
I would go with the Netherlands because haven't the Netherlands like not won a World Cup?
I'm gonna go with Hungary, just cause
Yeah, that's kind of like my Chile response
Yeah.
last time. I don't know.
Sweden is a
give it
weird
chat
one.
time. Sweden, Paul, there's no chance. Stop that.
You didn't. How
Paul,
did you give
don't know
the
this.
year?
It's not. How do you know that it's Sweden in 1958? That doesn't make any sense.
Paul just pulled that out of it.
There's
nowhere.
no chance you pull that out of the dome. There's
Yeah.
no chance. Dude, if you now you have to give us another explanation. If it's Sweden, what was I gonna? What were they? I was gonna
You
say
said Netherlands. I was gonna say Hungary.
Okay, let's see what it is.
Sweden, 1958.
Paul, no. Paul is on this quiz right now on his phone. You know he is.
17-year-old Pele scored stole the show in a 5-2 win for Brazil.
Because Pele scored twice as a set. No, Paul, that's what we just
He
said.
has the quiz up.
That's what we just read.
He has the quiz.
There's no chance.
Okay. Third question. Who finished second the last time Liverpool won the league? So I don't think it was this. So this one's hard because
Paul,
this came
get a
out late.
life. Dude, Dom, honestly, either he's cheating or he knows way too much. Like, that's ridiculous. We actually have a unaired episode of, I think it's Class on Grass Games with Paul.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. I think that's
And
what
he
it's
just
called.
absolutely burned
We
him.
made a whole
Yeah.
intro for it and everything. It was kind of cool, but we ended up not posting it in the end. I don't even know why. But yeah, Paul absolutely burned Mac. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was not good. Okay, who finished second in the inaugural season of the Premier League in 1992-1993?
Wait, no. What about Liverpool?
That one was confusing because it hadn't come out before Liverpool won it 2 years ago.
Oh, it had
Yeah.
him. Okay.
So we wouldn't have known like if it meant this one or the one 60 years ago or whatever. Okay, so who finished second in the first season of the Premier League in 1992-93? Norwich, Blackburn, Liverpool, or Aston Villa? Blackburn.
Yeah, no,
says
I
that
would say Blackburn because they used to be so prominent.
Dom says Newcastle. Well, that's not a choice.
Oh well, no, he probably typed it in before.
Oh, true.
Before you said it.
Norwich, Blackburn,
No,
Liverpool. or
Newcastle would be a shout though if they were in there. I might choose them.
That's true.
I would say Blackburn. What do you think, Paul?
don't even.
Paul
Aston
says
Villa.
I believe, which means it's true.
Yeah, it means he's on the
Yeah.
actual quiz.
Um.
Paul, if anyone was wondering who's listening, Paul said Aston Villa, I
Yeah.
believe. I'm not 100% about this one.
Sure.
Though. If he gets this right, I swear to God. Okay, Blackburn.
I
Dom,
think so.
Dom says Newcastle. Unfortunately, Dom, I feel like
Norwich.
Okay. There we go. There we go.
I think all three of us are going Blackburn.
Yeah,
right?
all three of us in the studio are going Blackburn.
Okay.
We got Paul for Villa and Dom for Norwich. I know that Norwich finished top 4 with a negative goal difference. How do you know that?
He was
Dude,
alive. in
Paul,
the
we need to get
90s.
you on the pod.
Yeah,
like,
we
it's
need-
ridiculous.
We need to just get the hardest quiz ever and just see how you do.
Yeah, we know.
We'll make that segment.
We
soon.
will.
We
It'll
will.
be hardest quiz versus Paul.
Yeah. All right. It was Aston Villa.
See, I'm starting to think that you are on the quiz.
Paul,
If
you
Paul
are,
gets it
you are
right,
on the
then
Guardian.
ban him from quizzes. See, I'm thinking the same thing. Only team in Premier League history to do that. Paul, how do you know this stuff? It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand this. Okay,
Let's see.
no, hold on. Let me read the next one.
Or should we go all the way to 11, or should we just
No, let's go all the way
Do
to
it.
11. It's
Okay.
fine. We'll stop at like an hour. We have like
number
8
5?
minutes left. Number 5. Who were the first club to lose a European Cup final in their own stadium? Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Roma? Dude, I just celebrated in my dorm because I didn't know this bill for sure. I could just see Paul like, doing a fist bump in the middle of his dorm. So yeah, who was the first club to lose a European Cup final in their own stadium? Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Roma. Dom said, Paul, go to a party. You're in college, bro. Dom said Bayern. I'll go with Roma. Considering, so,
Ooh.
well, so we have to, yeah, I'm going to go with Roma.
I like
Bayern
as
2012.
well.
Does
That's
Dom
the
know this?
Chelsea.
Does
No,
Dom know this
'cause-
exactly?
Because Chelsea beat them at Bayern.
But was that the first time?
This is the thing. That's the only one I know of.
But you've only been alive for like...
Yes, that's the only one I've been alive and known of. Bayern lost to Chelsea, yeah. Drogba scored.
Yeah, he had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Wasn't that his last goal? Wasn't it the header?
Yeah. And then he scored the winning penalty in the shootout
Yeah.
too. So this is true. It is 2012, which for that to be the first time is
Yeah,
kind of...
Paul said, Dom, it's the first time 2012 is too late. See, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I'd go with
But
Roma.
also that's since it's a kind of random stadium and it's chosen at the start, what are the chances that's happened before where a team has gone all the way to their own stadium and then lost? I'm going with Dom.
I'm going with my Roma,
Roma.
guess. Paul, you need to get one in the next 10 seconds. You need to get one in. We'll read them out one more time. Bayern, Real Madrid, Barca, or Roma.
Yeah.
If you don't get one in, then you're automatically going to get this question wrong, Paul. Don't you be researching this
Yeah,
over in
he's-
your dorm.
Real
I think Real
Madrid.
Madrid because they've been in so many finals. See, that's actually
You're such a
decent shout.
logical
And
man.
He is. If it's Real Madrid, okay, Roma. Come on, Roma.
Okay.
Come on.
Roma.
See, there it is. There
Two
it is.
clubs have lost European Cup finals in their own stadiums. Roma lost in 1984 and
And-
Bayern in 2012.
See, so it's Dom. You're close. It's
So
just
Paul,
it's
you're
too late.
actually the worst out of all of us.
Yeah, technically speaking, Paul, you got the worst answer
Yeah.
on that one.
All right. Next one. Two clubs have lost consecutive Champions League finals. Juventus and Atletico, Benfica, Valencia, and Manchester United.
Read the question again.
So two clubs all time have lost consecutive Champions League finals. So back-to-back years they've lost Champions League final. Juventus,
So Juve did, right?
Juventus is one,
Yeah.
and you're choosing the other one, and it's either Atletico, Benfica, Valencia, or Manchester United.
Dude, it's probably not Man United. But that's too obvious if it's Man United. Dude,
Has
I'm-
Valencia?
no, I think it's Benfica.
I don't see Valencia being in many
What does it say?
Nice.
European Cup or Champions League?
Champions League finals.
So this has to be in the last like
Yeah,
what, 30
it's quite.
years.
It's more recent. Atletico, I know
Benfica have not been to two Champions League
Atletico
finals in
lost
the last 30
one.
years.
recently, but that's like it.
It's probably Man United. Wait, what was
Benfica in the 60s. was like-
Valencia? Yeah. See, but wasn't it the European Cup in the 60s?
yeah, wasn't it like not?
Hold up. When did the Champions League get officially
No looking up.
founded?
No looking up things.
Oh, that's true. Shoot. Now I look like an idiot though, because
Yeah.
if the Champions League was around in the 60s, see, I'll just go with Benfica with Paul on this one.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going Benfica?
Yeah.
I'll go Man U, I guess. Valencia,
Oh wow.
2000 and 2001.
See,
I don't
so-
remember them being like
Okay, well now I'm gonna
crazy.
look it up. When was the Champions League founded?
It was Valencia. Dom says
League.
the 90s, he thinks.
So the Champions League was founded 1955.
Really?
So I mean, Paul is right. It could have been in the 60s. So I would have gone if I knew that. I would have gone. With
Maybe
Benfica
that
still.
it might be like a technicality. When was it named Champions League?
Well, no, before that was the European Cup.
I know, so I don't know.
When did the European Cup switch to Champions League?
Okay.
Oh, the tournament then called the European Cup
1992.
began with okay. It changed to Champions League in 1992. So yeah, Dom is right.
Yeah. Okay. 2 teams have lost World Cup finals in 3 different continents. Wow.
That's just disappointing.
So 2 teams have lost World Cups in 3 different continents. Germany, which includes West Germany, so going all the way back, and 1 other team, either the Netherlands, Argentina, Hungary, or Brazil, have lost World Cup finals in 3 different continents.
Argentina.
So how many finals? So you'd have to be in a lot of finals, though, and to have them all
Argentina.
be in different continents.
I'd say Argentina.
Brazil, when
Messi lost in South America.
I feel like when Brazil get there, they
clutch up.
they win it. So I don't, even though they
Pele lost in a World Cup final, didn't he?
He did, but like they have so many wins.
Netherlands has to be. Both are going to the Netherlands. Really?
I like Netherlands. I think
I'm just gonna go
back
to
in the
Argentina.
day,
I'm sticking with my guess because I'm not gonna be impacted by the.
they don't have many
chat.
wins. They
What?
don't have many wins and like World Cup wins.
Yeah.
Do they have any?
Who, Netherlands?
Yeah, but they were so good that I feel like they could have gotten. I'd say Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the Netherlands. They've never won the World Cup, but they have lost finals in Europe, South America, and Africa.
That's tough.
It is very tough.
That's so tough.
Okay.
All right.
2 more.
We'll go 2 more questions. Which of these clubs has never won the top flight but has finished second? Palace, Southampton, Brighton, or West Ham. So I already know it's not Brighton.
And I already know it's not Southampton.
So it's either Palace or West Ham. I'd say it's West Ham.
What is it? They've
Dude,
never
Palace
won
have
the
not
top
finished
flight.
second. Oh, but it's the top flight. It's not just the Premier League. Dude, if it's Brighton, I'm literally like, no, because, dude, I don't know our history that far back.
Southampton have only been in the Prem, like, recently.
No, but
though.
it's not the Prem. It's the top flight.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I
true.
mean? It goes back to like 1900.
But Brighton too.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah. So, well, no, I don't think it's Palace.
Well, I know-
I would say it's because West Ham are a London club, and I feel like, well, are Palace a London club?
yes,
Yeah, that's no, but West Ham play in like London Stadium.
but
It's bigger.
like recently,
It's bigger. Yeah,
recently
true.
they just moved. London Stadium was only built in 2012, but
There's
so
just a
I
bigger-
know
West Ham is a bigger
Southampton.
club.
I know. I don't know. I'm gonna look stupid if I say this, but I know Southampton haven't because I feel like I would have.
Same with Brighton.
I would have heard that before.
Same with Brighton. This is a tricky one in it. It says
I like Palace just because West Ham. I feel like I don't know. I don't get a vibe from West Ham, and I feel like they might have won it
it's
back in the
either
day.
Palace or West
because
Ham.
because it's never won the top flight, but have finished second. So I feel like Palace have never won it.
I'll go with West Ham.
Okay,
Okay, so we have Paul with Paul. You haven't put your guess.
Paul's
in.
going West Ham.
Yeah. Okay. Paul's
Don's
West Ham
going
with me.
Palace.
Don's Palace with you. All right. Let's see.
Southampton. No
oh
way.
my God.
No way.
You donuts.
19,
You're supposed to know these things.
1983, 84. Well,
Supposed to know these things. Was thinking Southampton, but I trust Mac to know if they haven't. Well, Paul, you trusted wrong.
all I know is
You
about
trusted wrong.
their FA Cup and their League Cup wins is all I know. Oh wait, no, you said that.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last question on the quiz.
Well, Paul, remember you got like most of the Southampton questions
That's
right.
that's true.
on the
Remember
quiz.
the Dom? It was
Southampton in 1983, 84.
Paul, remember that when we did the quiz, the unreleased quiz. I'm only trying to figure out now. Exactly. No, when we did the unreleased
Well, you've been
quiz,
wrong
you
in the
literally
past
got
couple.
more questions about Southampton right.
Yeah, and
No, wasn't it like bingo that we played?
I think it was like, no, it was Jeopardy.
Oh, it was. We
Because
played Jeopardy.
he just kept choosing Southampton, wasn't
He
getting
did.
it right.
Yeah,
Um,
God, I remember that.
So okay, final question. Which club has made it to 4 FA Cup finals and lost them all, including 3 in 1 decade? So this is outdated, I believe. Maybe. Cuz
Check,
so-
check, and then you won't be involved.
yeah. So the answers or guesses is Middlesbrough, Crystal Palace, West Ham, or Leicester City.
So Leicester got to an FA Cup final very recently, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, against Arsenal.
The last FA Cup.
Yeah. Was it against Arsenal?
No.
No, it was against
Um,
Man City.
Yes.
Yeah. I got the hardest Arsenal question wrong. No, yeah, Paul. Wait, no, yeah, I remember that. You did. Dude, that was so fun. I don't think I have the film anymore, Dom, so I don't think I can release it.
Yeah. So I think I know, just because yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Leicester.
Yeah.
Just because if we're talking about before this past one.
Oh, it was Chelsea.
well,
Yeah, because Ben Chilwell scored and then it was offside, and Ben Chilwell
yeah.
was a former Leicester player. Yeah. So Paul's Leicester, Dom's West Ham.
I'm Leicester.
I'm Leicester as well. It is Leicester because I remember when they won it, like the whole game, they're saying, "Oh, whatever. What is it? They lost 3 in 1 decade, and they've never won a trophy, whatever, in the FA Cup, but they've been to so many finals." So yeah, it was a little outdated because they just won it this year.
Yeah.
So I think Paul obviously won.
Well, yeah, Paul is the obvious winner there. But yeah, we that concludes this week's episode of the Class on Grass podcast. We'll be back next week, or Sunday night. And yeah, we'll be interacting with the chat again. This was super fun. Obviously, like last week, I think it's much better than
It is.
Than previous before when we just did
We
it.
can
like, recording
start
it.
paying you guys.
We can honestly. But yeah, we'll be back next Sunday night. Hopefully, this is a good Sunday night activity before you have to go back to school or work or whatever. But yeah, we will see you guys next week. And until then, peace.